Live in the new year. How exciting. All righty. I have my little one down here. She's tired tonight, so I'm hoping that she'll be nice and chill. We went poop and everything. Okay, gonna post my first comment for everyone. What habit do you want to break or add to your life? Boom. There we go. Okay. Hi, Cherie. Mwah. Love you, love you. Thought about you today. Thank you for sending the happy anniversary. You know what? I did that membership video like 3 o'clock, and I'm sitting there and I saw like in my notifications, all the checks are done through YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never posted it. So I feel super bad for that. Okay. Hey, Chris. Okay, big time prayers coming to you. I just feel like you and I are in this like health battle. I'm not sharing much with anybody unless you want to, but I have you in my prayers in a big way, even bigger way. Can't wait to hear what happens on Wednesday. Thanks for being here. Is that because you're just kind of, you're forced to be here because you're just kind of laying around, so to speak? And I need you both. Hi, Jayla. How are you? Okay, I need you all three to put some comments down about what kind of habit are you trying to get rid of, or what kind of habit are you trying to add? I did not get my Christmas tree down. Guess who forgot about the live today? This girl who has two thumbs, and forgot about the live, me. I can't even believe it. So I didn't get all the things done that I needed to get done, but I got most of it done. So I feel I'm making progress. Tomorrow, it all should be finished, and I'll be super happy to have this house in tip-top shape. Tippity top. That goes out to anyone who really knows what that means. And if you don't, sorry about that. All right, so my habit has been, well, there's been a couple of habits. We're going to kind of talk about soul, mind, and body. And oh, by the way, one of the reasons I forgot about tonight is because it's my husband's and my anniversary. And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. It's still Christmas, Kendra, until baptism next Sunday. So all good. Okay, Julie, shouting this one out to you. You go out to, I think it was Alicia, or Alicia, Aletia, Altia, or whatever. What in the world? How come I cannot say that word? I can see it in my mind. I've been terrible during this season, I'm thinking. Okay. There were multiple reasons, multiple things that people were doing in order to, quote unquote, end the Catholic Christmas with tree, with decorations. Some people do it on the Epiphany. Some people do it at the baptism of the Lord. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. Just got to shout out. Hi, look at how big she's getting. 5 months and growing. I don't know if her eyes, I gotcha. I don't know if her eyes are going to stay green. Kind of, they mostly turn brown. Here you go, baby. She's so tired, so I'm hoping that she's going to fall asleep. Okay, so we get back to the Christmas. So again, Julie, I can't remember what the USCCB said. I think they said, well, it must be the baptism of the Lord, because that would make sense. Anyway, can't remember. Bummer. I don't have my ring on. It feels weird. And it's my anniversary with my husband. So I'm going to go get it. I'm in my pajamas. Don't mind me. Okay, hold on, Cable. I'm almost ready. Oh, thank you. So it's been a weird day. And honestly, that's exactly why I forgot about this live. But we're here and we're going to talk about habits, the good ones, the bad ones. How do you instill them? So let me just call it out. My New Year's resolution, if you joined us on the Monday before New Year's, was all about me getting up at 4 a.m. to pray. And it was going to be mental prayer. And then I would pray my 4 rosaries. 4 a.m. is super early. So when you set goals, so we're going to talk about goals versus habits. Goals should be smart, specific, measurable. Oh my gosh, I should have looked this up. What is the A? Attainable. SMART. Anyway, you're supposed to be able to measure them. They're supposed to be smart so that you have something to shoot for instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to lose weight this year and I'm going to get healthy. Well, what does that mean? How much weight are you going to lose? How much muscle are you going to gain? How much fat are you going to lose? Like all that kind of stuff. How are you going to do it? So my 4 a.m. You still have your wig blur on the screen. Oh, I do. Huh. Let me take that down. Let me see if I can do that on the fly. How fun was that wig thing? I got a few more. So should be logos. Why isn't logo showing? Comments, banners. Oh, here we go. Ta-da! Back to Kendra Vanesh. Find something more with God. Thanks, Cherie. You're always there. Always there for me. I've had an awesome day today, Kendra. Hope you're okay. I am. I really am. And I want to start off with one thing, because if you've had anything going on in your life that is brutal, like, how does God bring good out of this? I am sure you know this father. He's a priest, and he shares a little bit of his story. So if we don't hear it from the beginning, I'm going to be bummed. Here we go. Oh, come on. Let me see.
Obviously, I woke up to him on top of me, and it was not pleasant.
Hang on. I want everybody. Okay.
Hid until I was in college, and then I told my parents.
Whoop. I wish you could push it forward and back.
Be sexually abused by anybody.
Sorry, everyone. I want to start it. Are you even hearing me?
Example, because what I did is not the right way to go. I just
was sitting on my microphone. I'm not even sure you guys could hear me. Okay, I'm putting it on my lap. Unless I don't have my microphone set up.
there, or I just get away from this whole thing.
Sorry, I can't.
To be dealt with. You can't just go through life like serve them. It happens all the time. Being forced in my life. Oh God, and that's the first mistake. Don't throw God.
Ah! I'm giving you guys the good stuff.
because the only way you're going to get
feel that the Catholic Church deals with this.
I think a lot.
I didn't realize it was so long.
So that could have been prevented long. Just kept moving him.
Sorry, my friends. Are you hearing my dog chew on her treats?
You got to have better. There has to be. I found a
Oh, this is crazy, people.
thousand priests who. What he noticed with all of them is they.
Ah!
You know, and he said, because I've been interviewing. It's the common denominator. Even praying is not. Desires. Doesn't want full healing from this thing.
I'm sorry. Okay, so we'll talk about this. I have to untangle my crucifix with my scapular. Anyone have this problem? I just didn't get to it before this.
I came back to New York City. I had to get, you know, the conversion's one thing, but now you have to implement it. Part of that was I had to get rid of the bad influence.
Guys, is there a way to
He said, listen, you know, I'm going to use you to.
Some of you may have seen this too.
I would find myself in the most ridiculous.
Oh, no. That's my drink, hon.
Who, by the way, probably 80% of them were sexually abused as kids. Drugs and got involved in all sorts of bad things. Where I'm preaching to them my story and telling them that God has a plan for their life.
Are you kidding me? It's like the whole Sean Ryan interview. You guys watch Sean Ryan? He's got great guests. Great guy. Interesting conversion story. Not Catholic.
He's never stopped loving them.
Come here, baby. Come lay down.
So if I could take you back.
Hey, come here.
Much
Come here. You got to come over there, though.
I'm good. Because I don't have any of the baggage.
Okay, it's got to be almost over.
It's such an amazing. Molested by a priest when I was 11. And that changed my trajectory for a long time. This priest claimed he was, you know, kind of doing spiritual retreats for middle school guys. And with 3 of us, he took on a retreat overnight. You get there, he's got beer. And, you know, we weren't even into beer. It's like we're at an age where it's like, what are you doing? And that night he sexually assaulted me. When I woke up to him on top of me, and, you know, it was not pleasant. I just said, I'm never going back to that place, to a church. And I kind of stuck to it. And I kept it hidden until I was in college. And then I told my parents what had happened. And then it started to make sense because I changed dramatically, as you can imagine your personality would when it's soul crushing to be sexually abused by anybody. But when it's a representative of God's church, it just spins way out of control. The devil comes right in and starts telling you God hates you. He never cared about you. Every possible lie. And you don't know what to believe. So I kind of spun out of control. And I just decided no one's going to hurt me like that again.
How did you get over that?
I'm not the best example because what I did is not the right way to go. I just shut down God and his church. I kind of went my own way. I rebelled. I became a really bad kid. My parents didn't know what was going on, but they knew something is wrong. But back then, nobody even dreamed this was a possibility. We're talking the 70s. College was my ticket out of there, where I just get away from this whole thing. But that's where I finally went into it and realized this has to be dealt with. You can't just go through life like this. Just looked at it objectively, like I guess bad things happen to people who don't deserve them. It happens all the time. I guess I'm a victim of that. But I'm not going to let that, be the guiding force in my life. Like it's an event, but it doesn't have to be the force that's going to shape and mold you. But I was living my life without God, and that's the first mistake. Don't throw God out when something bad happens. It's not his fault. So I would say if you're a kid and something bad has happened to you, tell your parents, regardless of how embarrassing it was or how shameful it was or whatever. They got to get involved because the only way you're going to get quick help is when they know something has happened. Now, if your parent is the part of the problem, if they're abusing you, then you have to get help from somebody else. Go to a teacher.
How do you feel that the Catholic Church deals with this?
I think a lot of good provisions have been put into place to stop this. But my own case, I was one of 17 from the same priest.
One of 17.
So that could have been prevented long ago before I was even, on the horizon there. The bishops kept moving him. And that's what happens, So I blame the bishops. They could have prevented this. And I'm not going to make any excuse from it all because, one kid is enough to say, no, we're not going to let that happen again.
Yeah.
And you got to go back to the seminaries and say, you got to have better detection systems when somebody is open to this sort of sexual behavior. There has to be a way to screen it. There has to be. When I first came back to the faith, I found a priest in New York who I really liked. He was a Franciscan friar of the Renewal, Father Benedict Rochelle. He also was a psychiatrist. And he told me he'd interviewed probably 1,000 priests who did these things to kids, usually in prison. And what he noticed with all of them is they had stopped praying. He would just say, when did you stop praying at your office, the breviary? It's the one prayer we have to pray every day. And they would all say, how did you know? And he said, because I've been interviewing you guys for years now. And it's the common denominator. Now, that doesn't take away the problem. If somebody has an inherent problem that they're attracted to children, even praying is not going to be enough, I don't think. But you can see that was a factor. They gave up praying and they basically threw in the towel and they gave into the desires. So when I finally did get the full healing from this thing, and that came when I got into religious life. And the Lord uses me to bring healing to others. When I first heard God calling me to be a priest, my first reaction was, why would you ask me to do that? I came back to New York City. I had to get my life in order because, the conversion's one thing, but now you have to implement it. Part of that was I had to get rid of the bad influences in my life. I had a lot of bad friends who were not good influences, big with the cocaine, big with the partying. The Lord, when he asked me, he said, listen, I'm going to use you to bring healing and reparation to people who've been hurt. I was like, oh, well, that's all right. That's kind of an interesting twist. And I would find myself in the most ridiculous positions. I speaking at a prison to, 500 murderers and rapists who, by the way, probably 80% of them were sexually abused as kids. And they went into drugs and then they went into getting the money for those drugs and got involved in all sorts of bad things, where I'm preaching to them my story and telling them that God has a plan for their life too. I'm watching these big, huge skinhead murderers and there's just tears coming down. because they've never heard this. No one's ever told them that one, God loves them, that two, he has a plan to rescue them and get them free again, and that he's never stopped loving them. Like, they've never heard this. I'm now older, sitting in the chapel one day praying, and the Lord says to me, can I ask you a question? So if I could take you back to being 10 years old before you were abused and let you live your life going forward that way, knowing what you know now, and knowing that I've healed you completely, and knowing how much I've used you already to help people, you're not even ordained, would you change your life? And I had to think about it. And I was like, no, I'm good. Because I don't have any of the baggage. I don't have any of the pain, but I'm seeing how you're using me to help other people. But it was such an amazing moment where you realize he really can bring goodness out of anything if you let him. I was molested by a priest when I was 11, and that changed my trajectory.
I was on mute there for a second, did not have my real microphone on. So anyway, that just blows my mind, but yet doesn't, because I know how God's healed me in many ways. Like, he brings good out of every bad. Whoops, let me get back to you. Hello. So he does, he brings good out of every bad. And maybe you don't see it, maybe it's not right now, but let's say you've been battling something in your life. Maybe it's addiction, drugs, alcohol, maybe it's porn. You're not praying. Maybe it's also gambling. God is there to help you with that habit, but we have to lean on him. When Father Rehill, who, by the way, is an exorcist priest, I'm so grateful. A friend of mine down here in Tennessee knows him. One day I'm going to call on a favor and see if he can come out here and bless this place. A no BS kind of guy, says it like it is. And if he can be completely healed that way, and Cherie, I know you said that's a horrible way to wake up. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, oh. And at that age, 11. A lot of people watching this may not be Catholic. They may be like, that's exactly why I run away from the Catholic Church. And I'm not defending the evil that's in the church, because there's evil in the church, period. But I'm not going to go follow Judas. I'm going to follow Jesus. In his church, with all the beautiful sacraments that he gave us. Just went to Mass this morning, received Jesus, went to confession, had a little bit of time in adoration. So going back to my soul, mind, and body, my soul was I have this hair. Got it. So my soul was to get up at 4. Let's make smart goals, and the habits get us there. 4 o'clock is early, my friends, and I go to bed early as it is. I get up at 5. I go to bed at, 8-ish, 8 to 9, depending on if I'm awake for my 8 o'clock prayer, which I really want to participate in today. So at 8 o'clock, I'm bolting so I can listen to Father Parker. Father James Parker, but his channel is FR James Parker. Live Divine Mercy at 3 every day, live prayer for about an hour and 15 minutes, 1 rosary, but then he calls out all the people's prayers and you're just praying for each other. It's beautiful. And then he does night prayer. Sometimes I don't make it all the way, but tonight I think I will, because I'm going to need it, if you catch my drift. So I look at, so my prayer at 4, that was unrealistic. I got up at 4 a couple of times, and my idea was to stay in bed where Sierra was so that I don't wake her up, and I'm not coming outside to go pray. I did it the first day, and I ended up falling asleep. I sat up the next day, and I still fell asleep. I mean, today I got up at 4:30, so I didn't set my alarm at 4. Got up at 4:30. And decided to come out here as normal. Did not turn on my prayer, which I watch on YouTube. I didn't put the TV on at all. I just sat with her. She fell asleep. And I had a wonderful conversation with God, asking him all these specific questions. Like, do you still want me to do this retreat home, which is yours? Do you want me to build your retreat homes? Do you want me to build the chapel? Is this still what you want me to do? Because I heard massive confirmation weeks after my husband passed away, January 27th. I can't believe it's going to be a year this month. It just blows my mind. But at that time, I was wondering, what am I supposed to do with this place? Do I move down here by myself? I don't know anybody. I'm so grateful for the friends that I have met. I'll call out Doug. He's the guy that I met at the dump. Yes, I can go dump my garbage any day of the week. It's wonderful. Today we did a ton of boxes, didn't we, Sierra? Yes, we did, Mommy. I was in the car with you. Look at all those toys. Okay. The Cesarios, I mean, they are wonderful. I feel like a part of their family. It's just, I'm telling you, I'm so grateful that God drove me down here, told me to do this. Supposed to break ground this month, supposed to be built and ready to go, at least, for me to decorate by August-September timeframe. And I'm like, whoa, I mean, it's here, it's coming. I worked all year long to try to get this place a place to live in. Anyway, let's go back to to my 4 o'clock. As I was praying, I asked him, yes, and he confirmed that. I asked him if he was going to heal me, my hyperthyroidism. I don't know if you guys can tell, or it actually doesn't look any different. But when I feel it, this side used to be a little bit bigger. My medicine takes 3 to 6 weeks to work. I'll be on week 3 this Tuesday. This Tuesday will be week 3. Some people have benefits, some people don't. My heart rate has gone down a little bit. So I just prayed. I actually prayed through the Immaculate Heart of Mary to Jesus for my health. Why? I don't know if you saw, everybody put down in a comment, yes or no. I need to know if you saw Uniquely Mary Alvaro's channel about what Mary knows about animals and us. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. I need you to respond real fast. Because, fuzzy. Because I can show it to you if you haven't seen it, because it's amazing. Alvaro is such a nice, sweet guy. All right, let's just... Maybe I can find it. Yes. No, I'm interested though. No. Hi, Irene. No, LOL. Chris, no. Okay. Not yet. Jayla, I went to Mass too. Okay. I'm in his channel. I want... if I don't find it in the next few minutes, I won't. I'll just paraphrase it for you. I thought it was a brand new one that he did. Okay, I'm just going to go to my watched. What have I watched? Okay, one more quick check. Okay, I'm going to have to paraphrase it for you. Sorry, I can't find it in there. And I sometimes have Like, I don't know if it was a recent one or an old one. So what he was basically saying is that Mary was infused with the exact knowledge about animals, what their purpose was, what we as human beings look at them as. So, you know, you would look at horses, you know, to ride for transportations. You would look at, you know, big burly cows, you know, or bulls to plow. Was it bulls and cows that plow the field that they yoke? I think that's right. So like there's a purpose for every animal, ones that give you companionship, etc. So she knew exactly all of the animals and their purposes and could speak to the animals too. You know, she actually knew what the serpent was all about. His purpose, its purpose beyond Satan, as I do say. Then she had total infused knowledge about human beings and the body and how humans heal. So I was like, I'm going to pray to Mary. Look, Mary is not who we worship. Mary is the mother of God. I've talked about this millions of times. She is the mother of God, for crying out loud. And she did all of God's will. She was sinless. She had Jesus in her womb. When you have babies, my mothers out there, I've never had one, but when you have a baby, the DNA of that baby remains in you and yours in your child forever. She did the will of God always, never complained, didn't really always understand what the will was, but took care of Jesus. I mean, she breastfed Jesus. She raised Jesus. So yes, she's going to have infused knowledge of what's going on through God gifting that to her. But we pray to her, actually through her. So when I prayed this morning, I said, you know, through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Jesus, I ask if you are going to heal me of this hyperthyroidism, of this swollen thyroid, of my heart rate. So I'm just sharing with you. I think it's shrinking a little bit. My heartbeat isn't up in the 1-teens. So it's usually like 115, 116, 117. It's down to like 108, 109. I mean, a couple beats is good, you know, but I got the yes. It's important to hear when you're in prayer how God speaks to you. So for me, it's this bodily sensation that just is a whoosh of some sort. Sometimes it's a long whoosh and it stays for a long time. Like when he healed me from marijuana and alcohol, that was a good maybe minute or so where my body was just, I couldn't control it. It was just shaking and shaking. And then when it was done, I knew exactly what he did. So that was in my mental prayer. That was my 4:30 this morning, time in darkness, time to just give him my heart and ask him a bunch of questions. I asked him a few more. But for you, when you're asking God about things in your life, you've got to listen. You got to kind of hang out and wait. He didn't answer a couple of other things that I asked him. So is that a no? Is that a yes? Usually I take the sign as a yes. And if I don't get anything, I take it as a no. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep asking to confirm it. So when I ended up moving down here, still have my house up there in Chicago. Hey. She does that when she's so tired. Can you go night-night? She just wants to get all this energy out. This is why I have sheets on my... Okay, can we not do that? Can we not do that? There. Can you chew on that and go night-night? Good girl. Oh my God. Good girl. Okay, so habits. I'm still going to try to get up. I'm not going to get up at 4 though. I'm still going to try and get up at 4:30, if not 5. Why? Because I quit coffee. I haven't had coffee since New Year's. It's no fun not to have coffee, but I'm trying to heal myself. So I am doing the habits that make me better. And everything starts in the gut. Sierra, okay. Everything starts in the gut. So my gut is not healthy. My liver, through the test, is not good either. So I'm going to be doing those liver packs. I'm just trying to do these habits that make me, okay, hon, that make me healthy in the gut, because that's where all my autoimmune issues are coming from. Girl, just go night-night, honey. Go night-night. Sorry. This is always what happens on this show at this time. Okay, so I decided I'm just pushing past my prayer. What am I going to do? I'm learning from my experience. I can't get up that early. I can't stay in bed that early either. And I just want to have that private time. So I'm going to do it without any lights on. The first thing she does is go to that couch over there and is out like a light. Hey, come on. Okay, go night-night, honey. Go night-night. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Excuse me. So that's my prayer adjustment. But I'm not going to give up, because I don't want to have the habit of giving up. I want to do the things that get me toward my goal. What is my goal? What are you doing? My goal is to get back into mental prayer and to keep with my 4 rosaries a day. That's a lot, but I do have the time if I'm up at 5. So 4:35 this morning, I got up early. So I'm going to shoot again for that. I just don't think the 4 o'clock is going to be my target. Hey! Hey! Oh my gosh. Sierra, can we go night-night? Go night-night. Go night-night, hon. Oh my goodness. All right. Mind. So it's paying attention. I didn't do all that great in the beginning of New Year's. You know, I mean, I got down here and I was thinking, okay, it's great. Nothing's in the house. Sure enough, I have a full box. I mean, it's a huge box of masa chips. Masa, they're really good chips. They're tortilla chips. They come in habanero. They come in lime. They come in regular. They come in blue. They come in this churro. I only had one of those, thank God. You know, like churros, cinnamon sugar stuff on there. They're not huge. I mean, the bag is big, but you open up the bag and the chips are way at the bottom. But I found myself eating 3 of those each day. And I like corn chips, but I don't need to have 3 of them every day. So what I was doing was just falling back on my old habits of not thinking about it. Sierra, can you guys hear her? Because am I talking about tikis? No. No. I'm talking about just tortilla chips. Hey, please. This will shut you up. All right. Just lay down. Stay here. Okay. No, those are the rolled up things, right? These are just regular tortilla chips, but they're made with organic corn, beef tallow. They're fried in beef tallow and Redmond sea salt. Unless it's habanero, then it's hot pepper. The other one is lime. It actually is organic lime. So they're super, super, super good. And they're not that bad for you from a blood sugar spike, because, oops, it's on this arm now. I have my continuous glucose monitor on. And so what I had to do was like reset. Your habits will get you to your goals. My goal is to get back to my fighting weight that I had my best life. 125, I was working out, and I don't even care about the number. I had lost a ton of fat. I gained a lot of muscle. I loved working out. I couldn't wait to work out. I walked an hour and a half every day. I lifted heavy weights. I had so much energy, and I loved how I felt. So I want to, lose the poundage. So I have 7 pounds to go, I think, to get down to my 125. But it's not about the number, because I have one of those scales that has, it reads your fat, your muscle, your bone density, your water. So in these I'm finally going to get to what I did drastically. I decided I needed to fast. And my body is so freaked out right now that I can't fast. 2021, I started the new year with a 5-day water fast. My body cannot handle it right now. I can't put it under that stress. I'm already stressed out so much with my heart rate up as high as it is. I mean, I got all these relaxation things. I told you about that Sensate device. My heart math thing came. So I'm doing everything that I possibly can to relax and get out of my sympathetic nervous system and get into my parasympathetic, which is where you repair and you heal. Oh, okay. So I'm like, I'll do this soup fast. If you saw my Saturday with Kendra, I give you the recipes. I did 3 soups. I'm drinking and eating soup. I mean, it's just vegetables, water, and olive oil. One of the soups is butternut quinoa. Can't even taste the quinoa. It like sinks to the bottom. That's like the only grain in there. But it's so low in protein and it's pretty low in carbs at the end of the day when you look at all the fiber that you're eating. And then it's just hot water that fills you up. So I have been doing that since Saturday all day, Sunday all day, Monday all day till I go to bed. I still have Tuesday all day and Wednesday all day. I'm running out of soup. I think I'm just going to have to go get vegetable broth or something. It mimics 3 days of a water fast doing this 5-day soup. So I can feel my body changing. I've dropped 5 pounds. I have increased my muscle 0.2%, but that's because I'm just starting to get back into working out. But I dropped 1 full percentage of fat. So I don't care about the number if I'm increasing on the fat and increasing on the muscle and decreasing the fat. Hey, there's no way. Here. Yeah, it's right there. You got to finish that. There's no way you're done with that. So when I think about it, my habits were too hard to break without doing something drastic, like a fast. How many of you have fasted? Like in any way? Intermittent fasting, fasting for a full day with you're not eating anymore. No, come here. Finish this. Finish that. So, no. Sierra, lay down. Lay down. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent. Okay, cool. Thanks, Julie. Have you ever fasted like longer than that? I will tell you one thing. I'm eating a ton of salt. I don't know if that's helping me out here, but I had a big headache. You guys have no idea what I ate before the new year. I'm like, I'm going to get this out of my system. I was eating like donuts and ice cream, and I made those little sugar balls. You know, the ones that have powdered sugar and you bite into them, they melt in your mouth. I made 2 batches and ate them all. No. Hang on, guys. I got to get this out of here. You have one to finish. Hold on. No more. You eat this one. I have no idea if she understands what I'm saying, but she understands when it's taken away. Okay. Yes. Great book. Be Healed. I have it. Never read it. Thanks, Teresa. I'm not a book reader. I need to have it on audio. I'm sure I can get it that way too, but someone gave me the Be Healed book. Okay. I remember last year or longer when you fasted for like 8 days. Yeah, it was, so I don't recommend doing that, by the way. Chris, I tried bread and water fast. They aren't difficult at all. Of course, I'd be cool with that, bread and water. Good evening. I'm watching from Pakistan. Please pray for my family. We gotcha. Ejaz, I think. Okay, so in the end, bread and water, I can do that all day long. There is a wonderful bread that isn't supposed to raise your blood sugar, and it doesn't because I bought it. It's Joseph's Organic Bakery, I think. And it's made with all these ancient grains that they crush in their own place. Joseph's Organic Bakery. People have healed themselves with so much by eating that bread, introducing it into their diet. It's good. It's hearty. You know, it's got all, when you crack it open, you can see all these little balls of that grain in there. It's really, really good. Okay. I fasted for most of a day while praying, but not consistently, like intermittent. Okay. Okay, so back to fasting. I'm trying to get that off of there. Okay. I mean, it's biblical. We will fast when the bridegroom is gone. Well, the bridegroom is gone. You know, I mean, I just look at this as a total change. So back to everything that I ate before New Year's. And then New Year's, I didn't start off that great. I started eating those chips. You know, I would try to work out, but I didn't. So I had to do something that was pretty drastic to change my mindset, to change the fact that I can control. No, I can control my reactions. I can control my choices. So it was like, okay, I got another friend. A shout out to Joanne. She's out there. She's doing I think it's called Prolon. There's a place that you can buy and send this to you. You eat throughout the day, you eat throughout the fast, but it's medically, scientifically designed. So it's mimicking fasting. So it's the same thing. You'd get the 3-day water fast out of this Prolon, Prolon. I believe that's the name. I should have taken all the squeaky toys away. Oh, I think she knows, you know, like, how am I going to irritate her? All right. So beyond that, I'm okay with the soup. It's good. I'm finding myself just wanting other things. I'm not craving them. Like, this soup is hitting the spot. I'm having like 3 or 4 bowls a day. I don't know how much I'm supposed to have, but if I'm dropping 5 pounds in 2 days, that's pretty good. That was this morning on the scale. And again, I'm just wanting to get rid of the puff. You know, it's like kind of a jump start into whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're trying to get healthier, you're trying to work out, you're trying to lose weight, lose fat, gain. Oh my gosh, she shoved it underneath this thing. Hold on. Sierra. We're not playing with this right now. No ball. We'll play later. Okay? You got to play with yourself. Here. Hey. So her thing is she shoves her ball. Hello. Hello. Can you lay down? So she likes to shove her ball underneath one of the bookshelves I have. So I have to get on my knees, get under there, crawl and get it. Okay. Thank you for your wonderful video. Love hanging out with you. Gotta go. So looking forward to the next video. Please share Blessed Mother video on her knowledge of animals. It's Uniquely Mary YouTube channel. Yes, it is. I will find it and I will get it out there. I could even send it to you in particular. I've done intermittent fasting with keto. You know what? Spot on, Karen, because keto makes it so much easier not to eat. I have to tell you, I'm hating not being on keto. I don't have my butter. I don't have my heavy whipping cream. I don't have my beef. My iron is too high. I got to get away from that anyway. I don't have anything right now. I'm just eating vegetables, broth, and olive oil with a little quinoa. But I don't, it all sinks to the bottom of my bowl. I don't even eat it. Soggy, doesn't have that crunch like when it's freshly made. Anyway, maybe that's something that you need to do, is to get yourself focused on something drastically different. Because what I'm realizing is I can have my chips in my house. I have 5 bags left, I think. I haven't touched one. I haven't used it as an excuse. There was an olive. I have olives in my, in my refrigerator, and I wanted to have one olive, and I'm like, nope. I was breaking up chicken for her. I feed her like fresh food. And yes, I feed her junk when I eat junk. So I can tell you she's actually lost some weight, which is good too. Anyway, I'm, breaking up some fresh farm raised chicken, pasture raised, way out there. Anyway, I give that to her and I just want to take a bite. And I almost did it subconsciously. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I didn't. Put it in her bowl, gave it to her. And I'm like, I can do this for 5 days. So if you don't want to make the soup, go out and find this. I don't know how expensive it is, to be honest. It really was very cheap for me to make these soups. I mean, ridiculously cheap. And my favorite one is the mushroom one, because I think you got to chew. So I made it with portobello mushrooms. So I have to chew quite a bit. But honestly, I'm not hungry. And it's giving me the freedom. I don't have to think. Oh,
Can you guys hear me now? I forgot about my microphone. Having a Reuben sandwich tonight. Maybe that is keto. LOL, don't know. Absolutely not. So keto is you eat 20 grams of carbs or lower. Or actually, you can just find the sweet spot for you. It can be 30 grams, it could be 50 grams, depending on how much you work out, how active you are, how your body reacts to things. So for me, I always tried to keep it at 20 or lower. But I mean, I started adding more salads and mixed greens and asparagus and things like that, just to get some of that stuff into my gut, my microbiome. But I love keto. I love eating that way. It's weird to not have not to eat the way that I used to. But that was let's face it, I haven't really been 100% keto for a long time. This is why I'm doing something drastic to get me back in A, to ketosis, and B, to realizing that I do have control over myself. So your habits sometimes have to be shook up. Like you really have to shake your body up, your mind up. I start out with, this is my mindset. I'm not going to eat that way, blah, blah, blah. And then my actions don't follow my mind. And that's where we all fall, because I don't know about you, but this is where it starts. First, it starts with God, right? With the soul. And you ask him for his strength, but you have to pay attention. If you aren't engaging your mind in your day, then you're just going to fall right back into your old habits. If I could have just paid attention, I knew what I was doing, eating those 3 bags of masa chips, which were so good, worth every chip, I took it to confession because I knew that I was who needs 3 bags? Now, they're not the size of the Dorito ones. Again, you probably have like this much chips, but they're so good. And I just ate, and I'd give her one, and it wasn't good for either one of us to eat that much. So that's why I did the fast. And I didn't think I was going to do the fast. I really didn't, until I got my information back from my doctor. And they mentioned that there was this mimicking fast soup thing. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's okay for my body. Like, I seriously am not hungry. And when I did the 5-day water fast, I wasn't hungry then either. I actually felt like I was on this high. I was only supposed to be 3 days. And my husband's like, are you going to eat today? And I'm like, no, I feel great. So it went into 3 + 2, 5 days and 9 hours, but who's counting? I remember eating my first food. I was like, oh my gosh, it tasted great, but I went directly into keto. So I made some pretty ridiculous changes, going from a standard American diet to a ketogenic diet after 5 days of not eating anything. I mean, I shocked my body in a big way. I would not recommend that. Okay, so the body. We have to have urgency in our habits. If it's something like you have to do something, if you got to get up and pray, just think to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. It actually works. Do it now, do it now. Get up now, do it now. Because when you're saying, maybe you even say it out loud, but when you're thinking that, your whole body gets a little bit of a perk up, a little bit of an energetic moment where you're like, yeah, do it now, do it now, do it now. I mean, if you keep thinking, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Later is now bedtime and you're not going to do it. So when you're thinking about it, when you've got time, or if you are a scheduler, schedule it in your day. And when that time comes and you don't want to do it, because that is what is going to happen, say, do it now, do it now, do it now. Just walk into your room, throw on your exercise clothes, your gym shoes, whatever it is. And then you're halfway there, getting dressed to do it, or flipping on the DVD player, or whatever it is that you have to do, pushing play. Just do it now, do it now, do it now, because before you know it, it's going to be over. And you're going to be so happy that you did it. So working out, prayer. If you're finding that you are not having control, it's the same thing to call on Jesus. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Before, the Oreos are in your face, or you're laying on a couch with a bag of chips, whatever it is, your vice is, whatever your addiction is, do it now. Don't wait. If you wait to stop something, it's never a good time when you're a drinker. And again, I can't tell you how many times I tried to quit. I tried to quit so many times. Not quit fully, but be able to have that 1 or 2 drinks with my husband at the island every day. It's okay. Go ahead. I did. I got down to that, but I was also toward the end smoking pot. So it was easier for me to drink less because I was smoking more. So I get it. I get it, because I wasn't able to quit. I didn't do it myself. God took it away from me. And I want to tell you that that is possible for you too. I didn't want him to take it away. I truly believe that he took it away, because how would I have this retreat home for healing? I can't tell you how many things he's healed from me, for me. How could I be healing people here in Tennessee if I am still battling my drinking and marijuana and my body? This is the last one, because that was all. Okay, my body was the one that I had in control, and then I was still drinking, still smoking. Well, smoking was kind of later on, after I kind of got my body back together for the first time in my life. So I want it all back. I can tell you from experience, I miss it. I miss the strength. I'm able to get off the floor. This is huge, everyone. When you have hyperthyroidism, you can have a massive loss of muscle. So my creatinine number was so high, and my doctor asked me, are you losing muscle? I said, I practically lost everything. Mentioned this before. I used to kneel to receive Jesus in Holy Communion. Now, I stand still, because I'm not exactly sure if I can kneel all the way, but I can get up off the floor without truly pulling myself up with my arms. I lost everything. So when my knee started hurting and I started doing some glute exercises, and that fixed that, now my legs are so much more strong, or so much stronger, that I can't even tell you the difference. I can get out of my car. This was how bad it was. And I was so strong. I had 3 more percentage numbers on my scale of my muscle. I was defined. You could see them. I had abs, I mean, and to throw all that away is not my game. I don't want to be that way. I'm 54 years old as of November last year. Hey, hello. And I'm ready. I'm ready to get back into that. So I'm psyched up for it. And I'm super glad that this fast is helping me. So I don't think I got you all to put on your, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't do it. What are you guys trying to battle? What habit are you trying to implement? What habit are you trying to kick out? Mental prayer, 4 o'clock ain't going to work, but I'm doing it close to 5. I want my mind to be more engaged because come on, if your body rules your mind, you're not in control. How many of us have our bodies just absolutely ruled? I'm saying that backwards. Yeah, no, that could be good. How many of us let our bodies rule us when we have an urge, when we are lazy, when we're, we don't want to put God first in our life, when we have all of these decisions to make and we always choose the wrong one? I mean, hey, come on, lay down, babe. Lay down. Good girl. Oh, I love you. So anyway, if you're choosing the wrong things, then you're not building that habit. So I went out there and I tried to see how many days does it take to build a habit. 18 to 366 or 352 or some ridiculous number like that. On average, it's 66 days. Who cares? The more that you do it, the more it's going to become you. If you've done anything where you have lost weight, where you have started prayer, where you have started working out, where you have quit some sort of an addiction for a period of time, you can do it. It's just putting yourself in that situation. And many of you might have the alcohol, might have the marijuana, the substance abuse. And I remember always thinking, oh yeah, I'll quit alcohol. Oh, well, wait, we got that party coming up. We got this next, and vacation is coming soon. So there's never going to be a good reason, a good opportunity, a good time. I shouldn't say opportunity, but there's never going to be a good time for you to truly make the change. And now on the other side of alcohol, because, it's not like I'm hanging out with a bunch of pot smokers. On the other side of alcohol, I couldn't be happier. I can't believe that I had to deal with all this stuff sober, like my husband dying. My dad died on Christmas last year. Finishing this house without him. I don't know how to finish a house on the inside. It was just a frame. Found out so many things were wrong with this place. I was so stressed out. I think this is why all of this happened. This is exactly why my doctors are saying it's a stress thing. You got to manage your stress. Maybe that's something that you're trying to work on so that you can be more calm. I mean, just in the last couple of days using this Sensate thing, I feel calmer. I mean, I don't get all that upset about anything, even when this one takes the remote off of a couch that I've left it on by accident and runs around the house with it. I mean, I'm just not, I don't let it freak me out. I'm not getting all worked up anymore. And I don't know about you guys, but I think some stress management is probably good for all of our lives. So I showed that Father Rehill video in the beginning, who was, is it this one or this one? Who was raped by a priest when he was 11, and then he became a priest. And good things come out of bad if you let God do it. So maybe this is the year that this thing that you have been battling your whole life is finally going to get taken away. I never in my life thought I would be a non-drinker, ever. And if there's anyone watching this, and I know Irene was one of them who's known me to be an absolute party animal drunkard. I never in my life thought that I was ever going to stop drinking. And I didn't do it. God did it. So all I'm saying is he could do the same thing for you. You just got to have faith and keep praying. Again, girl, it's like you're doing that on purpose. That one's too far. I can't go get that one. I'll give you that one though. Anyway, I don't see anyone putting their habits down. I just want you to be cognizant, be very aware of what you're doing. Because when you just go and you do what you normally do, I'll try that one. So when you just do, you just autopilot. Okay, I've said this many times, but 95% of your life is subconscious living. And I know you're probably thinking 95% of my life, I'm just subconsciously living. Yes, you are. Because you get up in the same bed, on the same side, you have your same routine. You put on your PJs, maybe you go to the bathroom, maybe you start your coffee, you shower the exact same, you do your hair and makeup the same way. Guys, you shave the same way. You get in the car, you drive to the same office if you're working. If not, you're doing the same thing at your house. All day long, it's pretty much the same thing, with the exception of some special things here and there, and that's when the 5% comes in. Maybe you're creating a budget for work that's off cycle. You know, you pretty much have the same things that you do all the time at work, but then voila, there's this new project. This is life, and that is where we have to be more engaged with our mind so that we can activate our conscious mind and say, no, I am not going to do that. Or yes, I never won. Pardon me. Or yes, I am going to do that, and I'm going to do it now. Because too often we just do what we always do. How many of us can agree with that? And the more that you humbly give it to God and you just say every day, you know what? Help this day be the day that I continue to drink soup all day instead of falling off the wagon and going into something else, because I want to really see what this will do to me. You know, 5 days. I've got hump day over. Still have Tuesday and Wednesday. Hump day. That's huge to have the third day of 5 over. After this, I'm heading to prayer, bed. There's no reason to eat anything. So I got 2 more days. And I'm going to run out of soup. I'm telling you. I didn't make enough. I don't have enough to make it again. So I may just get some vegetable broth at the store and wrap up my 2 days with that. But for my last day, I think I have enough soup to get me through tomorrow. It's just a matter of the habits will actually get you to the goal. And if you don't change your habits, and I'm not talking like I'm the one that knows how to do this perfectly all the time. But if you are consistent, you're more consistent doing the things that you want to do, whether that's yes or no, since I did it that way, then you're going to be apt to get back up and go. If you fall, like this was me, every New Year's Day, I would have the get healthy, lose weight, workout resolution. I was an all or nothing kind of person. So when I had that, you know, cake or that Snickers bar or whatever it was, I was like, oh, whoop, guess I can't do it. That is so not how life works. Get your butt back up again and try the very next meal or try the very next day to do that workout. Hey, Chris, thanks for participating. Hey, don't eat that. Hey. Oh, got it in your teeth. Oh, okay. I think my biggest habit is scrolling on my phone. I need to detach. Dude, that's huge. Thank you for saying that. I myself do the same thing. And it is such a colossal waste of time. I mean, there are some things out there that you can learn. There's no doubt YouTube and, Rumble and things that you can learn from, and you can be caught up to date on what's going on in the world. Maybe even for me, seeing new workouts or something like that. But for the most part, I find myself when I'm all scrolled through and I don't have any more texts, then I keep looking at my phone for some sort of, hello, what else is coming? We need to take that to confession. That is an idol. We are idolizing our phones. And every single person that is watching this is most likely guilty of the same thing, I believe. And if you think of all the time that you scroll, like you can probably chunk it up and you have a good 2 or 3 hours in the full day that you could have been doing something better for yourself. You could have been walking while you were watching that YouTube channel. I mean, you could be doing things that are bettering yourself rather than wasting that time. And if you don't sleep well at night, please put your phone away. Do not look at it. Turn it off. Turn it on airplane mode. Like, don't have the Wi-Fi going. I have my phone right next to me because it tells me how I'm sleeping and all that kind of stuff. Although last night it skipped 3 full hours. So I had a bad reading because it thought I only got 5 hours of sleep. Hey, hang on. Okay, so all that being said, we can control our habits. The good, take away the bad, implement the good. We can do it. Okay. All right. Any questions? Chris, that was a great one. Thank you. Quick questions, because if we're done, I'll let you go back. Any issues? I mean, are there specific things that you're like, hello? What you got? Look at that pretty face. You're getting so big. Your head is like as big as mine. Okay. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Okay, I got a couple prayers for Yashua and Visa. All right, can we all keep each other in prayer? Because the more prayer you have, and I'm going to tell you, when my husband died, prayers propped me up. Lots of you have heard that already. Prayers matter. They matter. They matter. So let's pray right now, and let's just keep everyone, even if it's not people that are on this live, together in our minds that new good resolutions are happening in people's lives, that they're building those habits that they need to make that change. She's finally laying down. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for our life. We thank you for our faith, because we couldn't get through the things that are not so great in our lives without you. The bad things that we wish never happened. We know that you will bring good out of it all. So if we are struggling with that problem for decades, as you know, some of us are struggling with substances and relationships and addictions. We are struggling with prayer. We are struggling with putting you first in our lives. We are struggling. We are really struggling. And we ask that you come into our hearts and heal us. Heal us from whatever it is that we are facing every single day. We are better than that. We are better than that. And with you, we can do anything. Without you, we can do nothing. Stop. Lord, please, I pray through the Immaculate Heart of Mary for this dog to relax and stop biting. Okay. In your holy name, Jesus, we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Sierra, stop. Okay. I'm going to go in the car with mom. We are listening to you. Oh, hi, mom. Hi, Jayla's mom. Sorry, my dog is becoming an absolute crazy. Oh, now we got new comments. I've been eating leftovers from Christmas snacks, cookies, etc., but need to throw everything out now because I'm making 2 of your soups tomorrow. You know, I like your attitude there, girl, because do you remember when I said I can't throw anything out? I must eat after I'm baked those balls with the powdered sugar on them. I must eat them all. I must. Hey, come on. Eat that. All right. I'm glad that you're saying that you're throwing them out because I didn't. I ate every single one. And it's okay to give yourself some leeway. I mean, this is where I heard a priest say, it was so beautiful. Virtue is in the middle. So it's not totally not having something and it's not totally overindulging in something. Virtue is in the middle of enjoying it and keeping it under control. God took away the alcohol and the pot. I don't ever want it. So why would I have it? So I don't have this fear of missing out or anything like that. Okay. So I think that's great. Do it, Karen. You've got this. And the soups are great. I don't know which one you're making, but I made all 3. The butternut, the vegetable, and the mushroom. And there were 3 other ones that I didn't make, so I don't know about those. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go with my dog, who has got to look at these teeth. Look at that. Doesn't she look kind of psycho? All right, I'm going to tell you, my arms are definitely getting workouts with her being bigger. Sorry, that was not close. All right. Sorry for that distracted prayer. I love you all so much. Find something more with God, soul, mind, and body, and patience, and relaxation, and stress relief. Okay. I will catch you here next Monday. If you have any topics, send them my way. Put some comments in here if you think of them later. And have a great week controlling everything in your life. Okay. Hey. What? Okay. Bye. Oh, I didn't even get to. Okay, hang on.